All right. So, welcome in. When you all get in, there's a few things I still kind of have to get set up. Um, oh, it's right here in front of me. There's a few things I gotta do before we get moving on. I'm sorry. Apologies. I was looking for this. I was like, where the fuck did it go? I had it earlier. No, but I've had some very unique, interesting encounters with Sekhmet, with the Nubis Osiris, with Isis, just the Egyptian gods, man. They love me. They love talking to me. They love giving me messages, man. They love. We got that good connection. Anyway, there's a lot of new energy around us, around you, around people, around you. Just the new energy in general. And we're gonna dive into it. Spirit wanted me to just jump on in and talk. Not really doing much with cards. Gonna take a break from reading cards for a minute, delve into other things that need attention. And as time goes on, just time's gonna go on, and you know, there's a reason why I don't have this channel titled like Sublunar's Tarot. It's Sublunar's Intuition. Because it's more than tarot over here. Because if you want to know about tarot, look outside your window. Because all tarots are going to tell you is what's going on outside. Simple as enough, right? You can use it to contact spirits. That's one of the lesser ways of doing it. We got to get real with ourselves. There's better ways of doing divination. Throw bones. Throwing bones, best way to do divination with nature. Doing it with cards, not so much. Tarot is a religion, you could call it, or a way of life as it used to be known when it first was practiced, rather than talking to spirits. That was done with fire. There's a candle over here, you can't see it, but it was done with fire, it was done with water, earth, it wasn't used cards. We talked to spirit way before cards. Don't We're going to talk about false idols a little bit too. Diving into it, don't use tarot as a false idol. You're attaching yourself to something materialistic on this realm that was man-made, not made by God. You know what I mean? Regardless, new energies coming in. That means expansions, deeper understandings, just being lucid with the energy. Really, new upgrades. A lot of people have been having heart chakra issues. A few people have been having solar plexus issues. There's been a lot of root chakra integrations because there's been so much fear being purged from the heart chakra that we're able to perceive what's going on and then able to deal with it with the root chakra by getting newfound stability within the fear, because we're realizing that fear is not fear and fear is actually just a momentum movement that pushes us forward. Even though we've been told that forever, it's now something that's being integrated more and more into the collective conscious rather than just being talked about. That's the whole point. When we're going to talk a lot, we're going to talk a lot about things because it's time for the air to get clean. And people don't talk about things like this because, oh, I don't want to make seem like I'm talking bad about people, but it's really not. It just needs to be talked about and seen, and projected out into the collective conscious more, just so people can really grasp and understand what's going on. And what not what's just going on, but what's really going on beyond the matrix things of cycles going on and all this shit. What's going on spiritually is what people want to know. We don't give a fuck about what's going on with tarot. We could care less what Billy down the road's doing. Fuck Billy down the road. Billy down the road doing black magic, cool. Billy can go do black magic till he's fucking 82 and die like the rest of us. Baby, you gotta have the outlook. It's a change of the energy. The energy is now listening to what you want. If you want to focus on people in your past and their cycles, they will be attached to you. You have to understand this. It's you. And this energy that we've been getting to get to this 5D consciousness that we all so desperately want to get to, involves going from 3D to 5D. You just can't wake up one morning and go, oh, I'm in 5D consciousness. No, it's an elevation. And a lot of people that thought they were in 5D consciousness, surprisingly, are in 4D consciousness and subconsciously in higher realms, because time is not really relative to us and not something we know how to calculate, especially since it's been fucked up multiple times before we got to the point where we are today. So time really is really just non-existent. It's been messed with man too much. But just to understand, like, all these deeper meanings, and seeing the truth of the matters, and seeing where your energy is actually going and the laws that pertain these things, not just paying attention to words, because anyone can say words, but do you know what those words mean? Are you doing the steps towards the adventure? Because we're in the 4D consciousness. What we feel is the 5D consciousness. We reach that level at one point. Now understand, this is how the divine works completely. They'll bring you to that highest peak that you want to get to. They will. They'll show you it, and then they drop you. That's the fool's journey. You start at the top, you jump back down, you jump off the cliff, and you journey all the way back up to the top of that cliff and jump off again. That's the fool's journey. That's tarot. That's life. Hi, I'm here to wake you up. It's really like that. Look at all the tarot cards and all their meanings. Seriously, from the wands all the way up. It's this evolution. That's all tarot is. And people are making it out to be the spiritual connection thing, which then makes you identify with what's being said, and then that puts you in that cycle. And it might not be that exact person that's attacking you, but then it's that reflection of that person attacking you, because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in an alternate reality by words, which are spells, and allowing these other energies to manipulate energy around you. It's it's so important to understand that, because, and it's not saying that these readers are wrong. You need to be aware of these things. These things take levels. We get to certain levels. So if what I'm saying is triggering you, it's because you're just now reaching this level. Welcome to it. Most of us that are here are just getting this lesson refresher to understand why we had to go through it all over again, essentially, and erase, not basically like detoxifying the lesson and understanding that it wasn't a toxic lesson, and understanding how we got there. That's the leading from 4D to 5D consciousness, because you're no longer worried about the subject. You're no longer worried about the physical reality. Who cares what they're attacking of myself financially? Because things on the physical realm cannot affect what's going on in the spiritual realm, and that's a fucking fact. That's why when people do cards, when you do tarot divination, it's not the best, because they're made by man with cards. You can't really change the form of that card. Even if you rip the card up to a million pieces or liquefy it, it's still that card. Now you use fire, you use water, the vibrations, the way the fire is going to interact with the questions that you ask and all those things, they'll change. It's just the environment. You know, same thing with the cards. You can change the cards meaning for however you want. You can say that it's someone else. You can say that it's you. Do whatever you want. It's all up to you. It's how you're manipulating the energy. Welcome to Godhood 101, Goddesshood 101, where you have full control over everything, and it's no longer you doing it blindly and not knowing why things are going wrong, and now you're like, oh shit, I kind of see it. And it's not saying everything's your fault in a mean way, but saying everything is done to you to help you grow and learn. And we're getting to that point. Truth be told, like, that's the thing with me. I've been wanting to do like fire divinations and bone throwings. I don't really want to do tarot as much. It still has a place in my heart, and tarot is a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong. Tarot is literally a good stepping point for spirituality, but it needs to be used in a different way, rather than, oh my god, you're under attack. Bitch, the US Capitol is under attack by black magic. Crazy. You're picking up on that and then comparing it to collective, because collective is part and under ruling of them. So yes, they're under attack 24/7. No shit, Sherlock, quit fear mongering and let's get down to the real business of fixing ourselves instead of worrying about everyone else. Please. The divine is tired of picking up people that are getting to these high levels and then falling off the cliff too early because they feel like they have to. No, you're not listening to what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to get you to heal from these things. Like, boy, like, girl, we're evolving. We get out of these old cycles. It's time. And I'm not saying this from a place of meanness. I'm playing it from a truth of, I'm love. This is Southern shit, baby. If you're from the Southern, you know. If you've met a Southern person, you know this is like the mother talking, like, listen, let's get this shit together. This is mother straight up. Because, listen, we need to get out of this cycle. And it's a cycle that we accidentally put ourselves into. Curiosity kills the cat, satisfaction brings it back. Right? Curiosity killed that innocence in you. You watch tarot, oh shit, I'm under attack. I now know black magic's real. Everything's fucked up. Wow. But that satisfaction of, oh, I'm right, brings you back to that content. Hands up, not saying anything's wrong with it. I'm just pointing out what's going on. And there's nothing wrong with it. Let me tell you that. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to point that out there. I'm going to put that out there so hard, it's a full-on brick wall. Nothing wrong with it. Do what you want to do. But be aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it. That's all. Isn't that what intent is? Isn't that the one thing that we've been putting into everything but the things that we want? Oh, I put the intent if I don't want these things happening to me. So then why are you focusing on them? Hands up. Nothing wrong with doing it. We have to learn these things, right? It's through this step process of going through this same cycle over and over again to where it either smacks you upside the head or you stay stuck in it for a minute. But it's not, again, it's not a bad thing, and I don't mean smack you upside the head. That's again southern thing, but it's just that wake up, that realization is just like, what the fuck? And the funny part about that realization is the second you realize it, then it's not subconsciously, it's consciously knowing it. You know, once you consciously realize these things, holy shit, everything changes because you no longer can look at the scenarios around you the same way because now it's in your conscious, not your subconscious. Things that are in your subconscious will always breach to the conscious, but might not stay there. That's why you have random thoughts flaring back from the past and stuff. They're always there. That's the energy that's there. Energy cannot be destroyed or created. It can only be morphed. So once you start morphing these things into higher and higher frequencies of positivity and seeing the real meanings for why they happen, that effect that you have claimed that that has had on you no longer exists because that issue no longer exists. You see, it's the energy that holds us back. It's the reason, it's the curiosity to that reasoning of why that happened that brings us back. That satisfaction that brings us back to that cycle shouldn't be one to like put us back into the hellhole we escaped, but to bring us back to a self-awareness point and be like, there's something going on because if this is happening and I'm doing this, is there something going on inside of me that's making this happen? Or is this just a cycle that's repeating that's showing me I need to get the fuck out of here before shit hits the fan again? You know what I mean? There's always signs. And even looking back at your situation, you kind of seen the signs that led up, even if those signs were pre-negative thoughts of your manifestation happening before it hits there. Those count too, because that's part of the energy that you're putting in. That's part of the energy of everything that's happening around. These things, manifestation is real. Let me tell you the one thing that makes it not real: the human mind. And you can ask anyone that's made it big, don't focus on the reality. The 3D shit doesn't matter. The manifestation happens. The only issue is you've been trained to think that your manifestation is supposed to match the exact thing that you visualize rather than the frequency that you're trying to manifest. So you want a mansion by the lake, and what you end up getting is maybe a lake house that's very big and spacious, same energy, same concept, different labels. The issue is the labeling. You label something, oh, this isn't what I wanted. No, it is. You just don't see it like that yet. So since it's not what you wanted, now that negative energy is going to have a way to sliver in because you've let it allow it in, because you've looked at it in a way that lessens lessers its vibrations to you, which is the only thing it can actually see, because everyone outside of you doesn't see it as that low vibration. They see it as an upgrade from where you just were. If you see it as a downgrade, then it will become a downgrade. It is really that simple, let me tell you. And it's something that can't just be told off block, which is why a lot of people don't say it. But I mean, recently, like I said at the beginning of the video, I've had a really empowering connection with segment earlier. And it something just clicked, and we have to, like, it's the divine really ushering people, like, we got to get these out. Like, people are waking up. It's time for like the new recruits to come in. Like I've talked about this even like before, like last year, even on the channel, and like a few months earlier in the months, like how every 6 months, the cycle is 6 months to 9 months. 6 months comes in, you excuse me, I'm like breathing. The 6 months come in, you go through your training. Other people come in to get their training when you're on higher levels. It's to keep the balance. And as you move, your tribe also moves. And you know which one's your tribe, you know which one's not. And your tribe will also collect people from previous tribes. It's just a whole connection where your energy is surging throughout everything, which is why it's important for someone to at least be talking about it, despite the numbers, despite the physical, because again, this is all spiritual. Words are spiritual. Even that is this very spiritual thing. That's why it's very careful to use words. But again, it's the frequency that you're emitting that strengthens the whole evolution of everyone else, despite how far back behind or how far ahead they are. It's going to help everyone, because the ones that are even at the highest point have something they still are like, damn, you know what? This one thing still bothers me. And I don't know why it still bothers me, but it's bothered me for the past 25 years. And then little old you goes through that same thing that they went through, and you heal from it. And then all of a sudden you know what? That don't affect me no more. Crazy how that works. Crazy how all of us go through similar situations to heal from it from every possible angle, so that no one has to go through it anymore. Crazy that the divine puts us through what we deem as suffering to save us from continuing to harm ourselves unconsciously, which is reincarnation, which is why we have these sins or karma from our ancestors that latch onto us, because these are cycles or lessons that were not learned and aren't supposed to be as hard on us as they feel, but usually end up being hard because your surrounding, since they know the energies around you know that you're trying to escape that cycle, they don't want you to escape it because they know they can't survive off of those cycles, because that's their toxic you know, link to how they're living and how they're staying afoot and how they feel high vibrational. Once you sever that cord, they no longer have it, so they gotta go off and find somewhere else. Why do you think they attacked love? Love was a strong thing to attack. A lot of us still out there loving people. A lot of us still don't have. A lot of us have full on gave our full forgiveness to these people, love them, you know, keep them over there away from us, but we love them with our full heart, love and respect, wishing you well, you know, giving you prayers and shit. And and let me tell you, that's the split. That right there is the energy that needs to be fought with. Not this, oh, they deserve all this mean shit. I hope they, man. Like, nah, don't be going on their low vibration. Stay on that high vibration. You love someone, let them go. Simple as that. I love this person so much that I'm letting them go. Because, honey, I drove them nuts. Because my light was just too much. Not because you were wrong, because your life drove them too much. They couldn't keep up with your light. You're authentic. Exactly. You still love yourself. That's the point. The fact that you're doing these things is helping other people you don't even fucking know heal from shit. You don't even have to be talking about it. It's a collective conscious. Why do you think that whenever people start talking about these things, there's so much random negativity that just starts swarming in? Because it's dying like that every damn second. And they know that, oh, no, it's not going to work. Because, no, not this time, buddy. And it's funny because you'll see this happen, and it's going to happen for a while because Mercury retrograde is doing its thing. So if you haven't already experienced a cycle that happened last 6 months, expect it to happen soon. I'm lighting Palo Santo over here again. But expect that to happen soon. Regardless, just sticking to truth, really finding out what resonates with you, as well as getting rid of beliefs that you can't mix up certain like belief styles and stuff. You can, like, I don't know if that's been a boundary for someone, but definitely starting up on my spiritual journey when I first young get into spirituality, I didn't know it was okay to mix things together. It is respect them, keep them separate where they deserve to be separate, keep them together in the name of love. Simply as that. They all root from that one energy. Keep them connected with that one energy. Don't be, oh, but you're dark and you're light. No, keep they're connected to love. Shut up. Don't be, no more duality stuff. We're out of that 3D bullshit, okay? Even the energy of this collective is out of the 3D. That's why we've been talking about these deeper things. We're growing. We're getting these things out. The divine needs these things said. You know, it's less about what's going on externally now. You had to be aware of what's going on externally. You have to be. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You do. And this was just to teach you how to be aware of them. What about you? How are you interacting with them? Are you letting the environment control you, or are you going to control the environment? And controlling the environment is controlling yourself. If you can add a different vibration to anything, it might not change it on the big scale, but on the smallest scale, those vibrations are still hitting. And it's still doing something on the smallest scale. Let me tell you. Listen, love never dies. Love never dies. Let me just break you down with that. Love will always last. There will always be parts of me that hold on to people like they have I have a space for people in my heart always. Even the people that like fuck me over. Does that mean that they have permission to enter and exit my heart as they please? Fuck no. The door's locked. They're locked outside. But they get to look in the window and look at the memories all they fucking want. That's what they get to do. I'll give them that much because I'm not gonna, my cutoff game's strong enough. I don't need to fucking obliterate these folks. But love never dies. If you have love for someone that hurts you, that doesn't mean you're Stockholm. Don't allow that to be a Stockholm thing. Don't allow that to transform you into a Stockholm thing. Allow that to be like, I'm a good person. At least I can still love someone like you. If you're going to say anything kind of negative, say that. Say that at least. At least I can love someone like you. Dead ass. That is the strongest, most positive shit you could ever say to yourself, to any situation. Because God dang, did you go through hell and back with certain people? Not even the last situation, not even the situation for that. We're talking about since fucking birth. At least you can love your mother, your sister, your brother, your ex friends, whoever like that. At least you can love them. Cause bitch, loving people this day and age is kind of hard. It's getting a little bit harder to do, and it's not like a complaint or anything, but let's get down and real with shit. Let's not pamper it with dust and shit. It's hard as fuck to love some people. It really is. Like it because they push the buttons to such a strong extent to where you become fully conscious of them what they're doing, and then it's just self restraint. And at that point, that's when you gotta walk away. That's the lesson. When it gets to that point, before it even gets to that point, you gotta walk away. But the fact that you're loving and you're forgive and you're letting them do their life and you cut them out of your life and you're not letting them back in, you're doing exactly what the divine love. Like even like going back to biblical times, did like Jesus stop giving teachings when people started hating him? No, he would still do them privately. He still allowed space for people, allow space for everyone, even if they did you wrong. Allow the space of love to exist. That is literally, I don't even want to say it's a requirement, but to me personally, on my soul journey, I feel as if it is. Take it as you want, you know? That doesn't mean I'm letting people from my past back in, but that means I'm sending them the love, the light, because no one deserves to be hurt. No one deserves to fucking have a freak accident happen to them. That's point blank, period. No one deserves to be took off this planet. It's being down here is a gift. And if you gonna wish ill will for someone's biggest gift to be taken away, then mama, I got some news for you. You negative as hell. Go do some work. Cause no. And I gotta say it that blunt too, cause you ain't gonna be that blunt to people and not get that energy back. I gotta be that one. And I gotta be the one because I'm the sweetest one here. I'm not the sweetest one here, but it's this energy, man, of just really knowing who you are. Like get in the game. You're one of the people on this earth that love. Salutes to you. How many people have you been around that love that aren't online? I'm talking about friend groups and shit of people that just they don't love. They're materialistic. Oh, I bought you something. Oh, I did this for you. Do this for me. No, bitch. We're talking about authentic, genuine love. Let me hang out with you. You hang out with me. I'm there for you. You there for me. We have our boundaries. You know, our personal space. If you gotta come over and crash, I'll let you. If I gotta go to your house and crash, you let me. Genuine love, like not, and it's not even based off of like a back and forth relationship. It's based off of true like trust and respect. Genuine shit like that, you can build those relationships with people, and you have before, and then people took advantage of them. But don't let that advantage taking throw you off. Allow that energy of they did it before, and then before the and then they did it before, and don't apply that to like past people. Apply that to anyone new. Someone before has respected your boundaries and given you that equal give and take that you've wanted. It exists out there. That person was not the one. Their vessel could not handle your energy at a certain point because you were elevating too much and they wanted to stop you. That's all. Like, listen, you got to get real. You got to be real. Listen, yeah, women love money, but goddesses love respect. Goddesses don't want to be worshipped. They already have enough worship as it is. Goddesses just want that peaceful counterpart, the one that they can lean on and rely on when and if they do end up falling. You know, there's a difference. You forget we aren't just these fucking. Because listen, we kings and kings out here, all right? Some of us are jesters out here, let's be real, okay? And then there's goddesses and gods, all right? There's the students learning, and well, everyone's a student learning, but there's the new souls, or the ones that have no recollection of any past life, or are completely under the spell. Or then you have the old souls, which are just reincarnates, or those who are born with infinite wisdom, even if it is their first incarnate. You know what I mean? And it's just like we're all here to do one purpose, but it's just waking up to that purpose. And the fact that you're able to do that, the fact that you're able to like love someone or show them the path to at least waking them up to what they are capable of doing, even if they don't believe it or not, changes it. It's the change that matters. It doesn't need to be physical. Again, this is all spiritual. So don't. It's even looking at that, seeing the world less as physical and more as vibration. If if the area around me, if I deem it as a low vibrational energy, that is because something inside of me is irritated. There is a part of me that is not pleased by this situation. Why is it not pleased? What can I do to please it? Is it because I'm not doing something myself, or is it because the environment is reminding me of something that I need to heal from, or what I need to do? And it's really just digging down. And a lot of people, like, listen, this is 4D consciousness. I've been slowly bringing this stuff in for a reason. This is 4D consciousness. There's a lot of people moving to 4D consciousness, and people need to step up on that game, because it needs strong forces at this time. And it's not saying you in particular. I'm just saying, if you are a watcher and you got an audience, doesn't matter if you got one viewer or 1,000 or a million, doesn't matter. If you got a platform where you speak and you are able to speak on this type of form and this type of vibration, do so, please, with your own free will. Do not stress it. Do not use any sort of hindering vibration or emotion when you do these things. Be sure to allow yourself to be in that 4D state, in 4D conscious. We'll talk about it here soon. And being in this state of full lucidity, not attaching yourself to anything, and really just expressing who you are, the way that you need to, without having anyone else say anything else about it. You might sound a little bit blunt, you might be a little sassy. If that is your character, let that be your character. Why hide yourself? You know your intent, and the ones that are paying attention know your intent. And let that be known. The ones that are paying attention know your intent. The other ones are going to perk up when they hear a loud noise, or they hear a word they don't like, and they're going to comment about it. Or they're going to look at you and go, oh, you look like this, or something like that. The real ones will listen. The real ones are there. And they know. And I know that they know, because it's the energy thing. And you'll feel it too when you're doing this stuff. You'll feel the energy. You'll feel the, oh, shit, I get it. The awareness isn't just a them thing. It's a you thing. The awareness bounces off of them, hits you because you see them being aware, which triggers it into you. And you're like, oh, fuck, I'm aware of it. The teacher is the greatest student, and the student is the better teacher. It is really just that way. It's the cycle that never ends, and it will never be less of an amazing thing. But if 4D consciousness is detaching completely from the 3D. That includes materialistic things, anything like letting the 3D define you, anything physical define you, any sort of like what we define on the 3D as blockages. Well, what you define as on 3D, I should say we, because whatever. But it's the ones that focus on the detriments of reality, which is the repetition of actuality, which happens internally, which is you perceiving the information so that you can receive it, and then, my God, there's a lot of re's. And then re-project it out. Goodness gracious, there's a lot. But anyway, with 4D consciousness, to make it as simple as possible, it's just detachment. It's complete, utter detachment, and only allowing your own soul to guide the way. Like you're learning to trust your heart and your soul more. Oh, where I'm at is kind of dingy. Well, it's a place to be. And that's a place to start. And once you start, like, it's a place to be. Like, I can do everything here. Like, I'm able to walk. I'm like, first of all, I'm still alive and breathing. Like, that's the best part of it. And really just work yourself up, no matter from the mundanes or not. But it's really detaching yourself from the physical world. It's removing the spell from you. It's seeing that, oh, you live in a fucking motel. I'm gonna use myself as an example because I think it's pretty funny. But it's like, oh, you live in a motel, that means you're doing awful. No, it doesn't. I'm doing okay. I'm fine. I'm just living here. It's just where I'm at physically. Does that matter where I'm at physically? Not to me. I matter. Where it matters to me is where I'm at spiritually. And that's where you gotta be. Where are you at spiritually? Don't worry about where you're at physically. That's 3D shit. You'll get to where you want physically if you do it spiritually. Because everything has to happen in spirit before it reaches this realm. And that's why a lot of manifestation doesn't work out, because you end up pressuring and stressing the divine and the heavens to give you what you want, when you're not realizing that this relaxing, this detachment, this letting go, and realizing that it's already there. You just need to find the path to get onto to get there. And that, that's this 4D consciousness, is being able to see the situation and immediately, before even reacting, observe. Before reacting, observe. That's 4D consciousness, is really being observant. You're observant on the 3D, but that's passive observance. That's observance when things are happening, or reflecting on things that have of why this happened. That's 3D. like seeing. When you're in this 4D energy, you're understanding shit before it even happens. You're like, okay, so I feel this fear. This fear would normally make me overwork in a certain department because I'm looking for an outcome. What do I need to do to just get to that outcome as quick as possible without needing to stress myself out doing those things? What do I need to do to de-stress myself so I can then, calm myself down and cultivate the energy I need into the force to push me forward safely and not, with stress or not hastily so that I'm able to be on my right path when I need to. That's delving into 4D 5D consciousness is really just allowing the waves to lead you. And a lot of people are really getting down to trusting their intuition because it's been a scary thing. But after you're done trusting the intuition, it becomes, 5D. Once you're really into your intuition, listening to your heart space, not what your brain's thinking, not what you're thinking, but what you're feeling. What everything like, damn, I feel good, like I'm here, I'm safe, but your thoughts are like, oh, I'm here because XYZ, and XYZ still has control over me because I'm here. Nah, you have control over why you're there, and you're letting the control be in someone else's hands because you're saying someone else has all the control. But again, it's really such a beautiful thing when it happens. The consciousness, the human evolution, the way it is just such a magnificent thing. Like it really is just beautiful to observe and not even like actively observe, but just passively observe, just watching people, just like seeing different people talk about different things, seeing the evolution of the spiritual community like on all sorts of levels. It's a beautiful thing, and it's more of like you need to really just focus on the moment that you're in and not the reason. Your sins are cosmetics. You can think of sins as cosmetics. You don't necessarily need them, but everyone else has them, so why don't you? That's the funniest way I've got. Like, where did that come from? Which one of y'all told me that one? That's a funny way of saying it. I ain't ever. Someone came in through that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh man, we got some comedy people up in here tonight. Let's go. That's a good one though. Yeah. But seriously though, sin is like a cosmic. Like everyone else is out here, like, oh, I'm sinning. I need to be forgiven for my sins, and you're out here like, what do you mean you've sinned? We all make mistakes, but a mistake is not a sin. For I should not be punished for not knowing. My punishment for not knowing is knowledge. Oh, I shouldn't have to, be scared to death about cussing once or something. Like, dang. Like, you really got to think of it that way, because the the thing about religion, I'll talk about it because again, it's nothing bad. We're just pointing out stuff here. But religion has been trying to become spirituality, like again, the law of the land, which is spirituality, because the land is ruled by spirit, and not of religion, not by man. It's ruled by spirits. My Mother Nature does random shit all the time, and why man has machines to make cloud and to do all sorts of shit that Mother Nature can do, because man wants to be the new god. Whenever God says no, if you become God, we're all gonna fucking die because look at you now. Look at you can't even pick up a fork and eat your fucking spaghetti the right way, dude. You're over here panicking. You can't be a god until you learn how to control yourself. That's why a lot of things have been stopping for us, because it's not just stopping completely, but it's like, are you sure you can do this? Like, are you sure you can even handle what you're wanting to manifest? It's not even saying that you want to be God. It's just saying whatever happens on the higher levels has to come down to us. It's the trickle down effect. And sadly, that's what man has created. So that's what we have to suffer under man's law, is once what happens to them, it happens to the rest of you. But once you separate yourself from them, and not in the sense of like, oh, I'm not like them because I'm evil, because they're evil and I'm nice, but separate yourself from them in the sense of you're not doing what they're doing, and you're doing something on your path completely different, and your intent is to help people, and you know what I mean? That's that separation. The separation isn't like a side thing. The separation is understanding why you're doing it compared to why someone else thinks that you're doing it, and understanding that both places come from love. That person loved themselves so much that they allowed their arrogance to take control. And that's not saying anything bad about them. That's just simply stating out what's going on. And you loved yourself enough to defend yourself. Either way, defense is defense, but one side's going to deem it as arrogant and the other side's going to deem it as defense. That's what needs to be cut out. Again, it's seeing it as just defense. You're defending what you think you need to defend. But why are you defending it? if you know it's true. That's the catch, and that's the 4D consciousness again. That's the awakening of why do I feel like I need to wear certain things or be seen in a certain light to be deemed like someone I'm looking at, or to be deemed in this position, or to be deemed in this like place or whatever. You know, it's super important to know that, because it's just like it's this comparison, dude. We compare without even knowing. Like you look at social media and you'll see people doing things that you're doing, but because you're not doing them physically, you get FOMO. You feel like you're left out of something. When in actuality, if you were there, you probably wouldn't have fun. It's just you feel left out of that. And it's that spell that drags you back into being, oh, you're missing out on so much. Missing out on misery, dude. You're missing out on being around. I'm not trying to be mean. This is just the energy that's around it though. Like you miss being around miserable people because you don't have your love being as validated as it was around miserable people as it was yourself, because you took being used as validation rather than love. And you got to come to that. And it's like, fuck. Like, how many people have you stuck around with knowing that they weren't good, but because you loved them and you knew that you could help them, that you stood there? That's just letting them use you for your love. It's just you don't have that counterpart anymore. You don't have that physical reaction of, oh, wow, I really needed that. Because you yourself aren't letting yourself do that for yourself. You're not being, damn, you know what? I knew that was going to happen for me. I knew I could have good things. I knew this good thing's going to work out for me. Everything's going to be fine. You say that to everyone else, but where's that for you? And you've been doing that for years to other people, but you haven't fully actualized it yourself because, again, you're giving your advice to people that don't know how to use it, and you're seeing them use your advice and fail with it. So that makes you think that you're a failure because you gave them the advice. No, you gave the instructions. If you don't know how to build a chair and you're reading the instructions, you're reading the instructions wrong because it's telling you how to build it right there. That's on you and not the chair or the parts, unless the part's missing, and that, but just it's like it's really digging down and seeing like, you know what, it's not me. Because if it was me, then I would know, because I would have some sort of guilt or shame actually on me from doing it, and it wouldn't be like an after the fact moment. It would be like a, I'm thinking about it, because you pause and think. I pick up on people in this collective, even people who are spiritual, tend to really think before they act usually. They'll sit back and they'll battle themselves in their head. Like, should I say this? Is that a nice thing to say? Should I really say that? I really feel like saying this, but like it's kind of mean. Do I switch up the words or whatever? You know what I mean? It's without thinking about that. That's that 4D consciousness. It's really just understanding that the attachment is what's there, and not going out calling people assholes or idiots and just blatantly using words that for a fact are going to hurt people. That's not 4D consciousness. That's being an asshole. But understanding that certain words that are deemed with bluntness aren't necessarily blunt, but they hit the nail like right where it needs to be. It gets the point so across that it becomes almost offensive, because it's like, are you insulting me now because of the words you've used? Because that word's pretty heavy. But it's not to insult, it's to bring attention. Everything's to bring attention. That's how you know you're conscious. Are you consciously living or not? Are you allowing yourself to be like, yeah, that word hurt me, but it's because it's a word I might have used against myself at one time, or it's just a word that needed to be said? Or are you going to be like, oh, that person's mean because they hurt my feelings and they used a really big word, or they used a blunt word, or however, and it hurt my feelings? Like, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong. It's a phase you have to get through and grow from, and where everyone has it. There's always going to be something that's going to irritate you a little bit on the journey, but it's up to you to just see the truth of it and really step into the role of being the high vibrational deity you are, the being, whoever, however, and just laugh at it. And just see it as it is, as child's play. They don't know better. They've been glamored by the curse of reality. They don't know the difference between what you and them. They just see you as arrogant because you believe in what they see as only one God, and they don't like that you get the blessings. When you tell the truth about the dark secrets, that that has its own time. That's for your guides. If you've been feeling pushed to talk about some dark secrets, go for it. The more power to you with that. But if you don't feel called to, don't push yourself to, because the divine has a certain way this is all going to play out, and it's very interesting. And again, if you didn't see the community post, pay attention. Good. Hey, listen, speak it out is what we need to do, because look at the media right now. Look at all the buzz that's happening. Look at all the people that are getting called in for questioning. You know, the Diddy parties, and then the fucking the 2 moons. And I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but we had 3 moons a few, like what, like a week ago or something. We had 3 moons. I don't know if anyone's seen that. That shit was weird. But just pay attention, because there's signs everywhere that there is a grand awakening. Not even a great awakening or a big, it's a grand awakening. And it's more to do with consciousness. It's going to be something that's going to be physically seen. Because again, once things start moving in the spiritual, shit's gonna hit the physical. The more you speak out, the more you use your voice, your vibrations, bitch, the more that shit's gonna pop up and the more people are gonna realize it. And it has nothing to do with, oh, well, that's just a coincidence. No, baby, it's always just been there. You've just been ignoring it. Someone had to point it out. It's not a coincidence. You've just been blind. There are no coincidences. It's all happening in front of you. You just got to be aware to it. You got to be more open. That, and when people think like it's a coincidence, like, nah. Like, coincidences only happen if you live in a coincidental world. I live in a world with infinite possibilities, as I was told from the get-go of my birth, preconceived from my birth, told that it's an infinite realm of infinite possibilities. I will be damned if I tell myself it's all like gonna happen all one after the other, and it's gonna be, coincidences and things are just gonna pop up. Coincidence, fuck that. I'm gonna bring the magic in my life so I can use it for betterment. If I have full control of my life, I'm gonna bring color into that life. I'm not gonna let it be dull and shit. I see how dull the outside is, man. The clouds have like pink and blue in them, and the sky is like a little like I can't. I mean, I could show it, but I don't really want to right now. But it's doing like the colored sky again. It's been doing that a lot here. So there is like a huge change, like huge. But again, it's like you see all the grayness outside, like all the people kind of walking around doing their own thing. It's like you don't want to go back to that. You don't even really want to be a part of it. But it's this energy of like the uncomfortability of really delving into how different you're going to be with people in the spiritual community, but understanding that no one's going to like actually push you away or like disregard you in a spiritual community. There's going to be wolves in sheep's clothing along the path always, but when you find the true the true ones that are actually there to invoke and to lift spirits and to help and to heal and to allow you to understand and to show you the truth and give you messages from the divine, you'll realize where you're at then, a lot. And it's just so important. Like I don't know, man. There's just a lot of, oh, the candle burned out. Okay. There's just a lot. That's why I was wondering why it got a little darker in here. The candle went out. But yeah, there's so much change going on, and just be so aware and see like the beauty of it. And I don't know. Don't allow the fear. Don't allow the stagnation, the waiting bother you. That the waiting is to fill things in to better what you want to come in. There's always a way to increase, because the divine always wants to give you more. You know? They understand. It's not even just like a thing where they see the reality as it is. But I wouldn't say that non-spiritual people are scared, but I would say that, because you don't have to be spiritual to know these things. Spirituality is a path of connecting with the divines. You can know yourself without being spiritual, but on the spiritual path, it's important to know yourself. That's the whole purpose of really getting on the path, is to know yourself and to know where you really came from, rather than being aware of what the government's doing and stuff of that nature. You know what I mean? But I would say non-spiritual people are, they're only scared because of unawareness. So it's again, it's like less of a fact of being spiritual and just more of a fact of being unaware of what's going on. Even if a belief of not having a god is around, it's still important to understand that the world you live in isn't your fault, but the fault of man. It is a collective fault. That's why we are all here together. It's not, we're all here together. We're all one. We're all of one, coming from one source. You know, we are all one being, split into three, but known as one being, but never identified as being one. You know, but always identifies. It's like it's understanding that you're whole. It's a whole part. You're fractured. You're really fractalized when you come down to Earth. When you come here, you're fractalized. You're split up into so many copies and small differences between who you are based off color, gender, however the fuck you want to view it on this 3D world, because they split everything up. It's a mess, dude. They split things up like crazily. But we're all together. It's just realizing that you're not one, you're whole. To be one is to be this. Dude, we're not that. We're whole. It's a whole thing. You're not one thing. You and me are completely different, but we are whole the same. What you think is what I think on different levels and on different things, different opinions that have been separated from the one true source, which is what we all know is love. We all know it, but we all separate it. That's the understanding of that. I don't really have a take on Hinduism. I don't like speaking ill on any sort of spiritual or religious practice simply for the sake of it's for the human experience. It's more of just spreading awareness of why, or the benefit, not, well, yeah, the personal benefits of, but as well as just the evolution of the human. You know, a lot of people who are spiritual start off being very religious, you know, and to even jump into spirituality, you gotta jump into religion. At some point during spirituality, you gotta go into some sort of religion. Understand God somehow, other than how you perceive it. Understand God from different perspectives to understand what that God is. There are multiple gods rather than one, so you have to delve into religion, to other belief systems to understand that. It doesn't mean that you have to spend your entire life doing it, but do the ones that you feel called to, so that you know where your spirit's leading you. You know what I mean? And besides, you can't even separate religion and spirituality, because again, religion's trying to be the replacement for spirituality, because even in religion it talks about the spirit all the time. In religions, you're doing rituals, you're doing candle burnings, you're doing ceremonies, you're doing like money gatherings and money bowls and shit. You're using golds and coppers, you know? It's all there. It's the same thing. It just has a different outlook. It's just a different fucking dress on it. It's the same shit. People just don't realize it. They just think that it's, oh, but I'm in a place with a bunch of other people. Yeah, so you're in a place of congering. You're in a congress place where you're all using all your energy together to praise one deity to bring blessings into your life, and you call that and you don't call that a ritual, but you call a bunch of people around a fire doing the exact same thing a ritual. Right. Invoking, right? Let's just get real with it. It's just realizing there's no difference. It's just all a bunch of gobbledygook to keep people at their throats. And we all understand it, but it's so much, it does so much more to understand the reasonings of why it's gobbledygook, rather than just being like, yeah, I can see that it's the same thing. Understand why. Like, why is it to you? Why is it just kind of silly? What separates you from religion, from spirituality? Realize that. Even if you're religious and you don't like spiritual things, realize what's the separation there? Why can't you agree that you're the same? Why don't you like your brother? Huh? Why don't you like your sister? Answer God, whatever God you want to praise to, that question. Why don't you like your brother or your sister? Because of their beliefs? Who gives a damn? That's your brother, sister, and spirit. You better fucking love them, because that's you. And if you don't love them, you don't love you. Because there's something inside of you that you hate. Because you ain't willing to love it. Because it's going to irritate you until you do love it. Because that's what love's going to do to you. Until you accept love, it's going to piss you the fuck off. It's going to irritate you. It's going to cause all sorts of weird side effects. It's going to make everything fall apart, because if you don't operate off love, bitch, you ain't getting much. You get what you put out. Like, that's just how it is. You got to get in that energy. And this is that awakening. It's a beautiful thing. I really need to touch on it. There's just so much. Really get in contact with the divine, though. And again, I'm gonna say it again, because even you can check out now the Pleiades constellation's big, the Andromeda galaxy's popping up. Like, look at this shit. Do your research. I'm telling you, you don't even have to take my word for it. Look around. The evidence is here. The Palladians are here. The fucking Lyrians are here. The Arcturians are here. All right, the birds, the blues, and the cats. They're here. So pay attention. They're talking to you. They're giving you energy. Let them. Let them give you energy. Open up your body to receive, because that's the last step, is really just surrendering. I surrender to the overpowering forces of the divine to come over my body and to lead me down the path of righteousness. Literally that simple. You can even say that. I don't even, that might be something someone needs to say, because that wasn't even planned, but that might be something that you might have to say. You might have to rewind it and type it, because I don't remember what I just said. It's fucking in and out. Literally, I'm not even paying attention to half what I do. I'm fucking my body's moving, but my fucking rest of it, talking to someone up there. I don't know, but regardless, it's this really big awareness that's happening, and it's just getting us ready for a softer landing. How to understand and be more receptive to the divine. That's rough, because despite what people will say and tell you, it's always going to be up to you. How does the divine talk to you? What do you do? And first, this is a question that you need to ask yourself. What do you do that you think that you feel the divine will talk to you in? When you're in a sticky situation, do you ever hear like a soft voice, or a voice that says something once, doesn't usually repeat it, and if you just go, oh, I don't want to do that, or I don't think that's a good idea, it just never pops up again? That's the divine. The divine never forces itself onto you. It will only accept. It will only, like, listen, I'm telling you, the divine never will force anything on you. You have to allow them in. A lot of reasons people have bad connection with the divine, because they want the divine to come in and intervene on shit. You have to let the divine intervene through you. You're talking to a spirit. You're talking to a soul. It needs a place to quarter. Hold up. Tarot lesson. We're talking about it. We're talking about it. It popped up. Where's it at? Where's the deck at? Where did the deck go? Hold on. I'm going to scramble for a minute. There it is. Here we go. Tarot lesson. Tarot lesson. Where's the Ace of Cups? There it is. Thank you, Spirit. There. Listen, we're on the ball today. They want me telling you all this. We're on the ball right now. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Ace of Cups. This is the divine giving you the exact information you need to know. This card right here is the divine giving you the information. It is being quartered into Mother Mary, also known as the Virgin. It's upside down because it's in a cup and you're being poured out. All that water is pure because it's being purified by the divine, signified by the dove, and the quartering of the four, the cross, the split. The divine will literally have to come into you, purge all that negative shit out for you to be moving forward. So when you ask for the divine for help, and then all of a sudden a bunch of negative shit starts coming to you, it's not an attack. It's the divine trying to exercise you, basically, of these past bridges and past bonds that you have. So understand that whenever that happens, like, tend to laugh at it, because I tend to laugh at it now too. Whenever I'm even on it, I'm like, why the fuck am I thinking like so negative right now? Like, why is it happening? Like, meet it with that childlike wonder. Don't meet it with fear, like, oh God. Meet it with childlike wonder. That shit, bitch, listen, just think of it this way. And this is the funniest way. How would you feel if you were the darkest, most evilest practitioner and you did a spell on someone and all they did was laugh? And it was like, why am I feeling this way? That's kind of weird. And you start doing things to make yourself feel better. And no matter what they threw at you, you just kept being happy. They would probably die from lack of energy or something. I don't know. They wouldn't be able to affect you because you would always meet it with that childlike joy of like, huh, that's weird. Some finagly doodle is hitting, like, you know what I mean? You'll make up some weird fucking explanation that makes no sense to anyone else, but coincidentally solves your issue. That's not some random shit. That's probably what's going on, and Divine's telling you, hey, that's what's going on. Get rid of it. And I like how the Queen of Swords right underneath that too. That's funny. Libra energy all the way through. We're telling, this is the balancing. This is the balancing of everything. This is you balancing back. This is the bounce back era. I'm telling you. Who stood in here? And the card that stood in here is the Magician. So again, it's really just, I wasn't even going to do anything about tarot. I really wasn't. But I mean, here we are, you know. As I said, you can't escape shit like that. I mean, I'm going to have like a whole thing posted eventually. I don't know when it's going to be finished, but that whole like spiderweb thing that I posted on the community tab for the ones that've seen it, I don't know when that's going to be finished, but it's going to be finished soon. I don't know when, but when I get that finished, it will be so informative. It will teach you tarot in a new way. It will teach you your life. It will teach you how to view things differently. It will even teach you how to like detach from a message that someone's telling you to see a deeper meaning that they're yet to see. Because tarot has nothing to do with how well you're connected with the divine. It's about reading the secrets that the divine put on someone else to art out. Because that is the book, is the story of life. It's the book of life right there, really. But again, it's just so much powerful energy. I don't know, man. Like the energy has been so like crazy, and it's just one of those things. It needs to be released. So fucking release it with passion. Um, yeah, with that motorbike, that is, you know what? Okay, is that what's going on? Okay, so no, yeah, no, yeah. What the fuck? No, yes, yes. Complete. Thank you. Confirmation. Sorry for that. So for some of you that don't know, um, my before, well, hold on, I don't know how to say this. My, I guess you could say my third awakening. Um, I was locked in a basement. Y'all know the story. I was locked in a basement for a few months without food or water. But there was a motorcycle that would always drive by the fucking door, and I would hear it, and every time I would hear it I would remind myself something good's gonna happen, something is good's gonna happen. And for the past few days a motorcycle has been driving by, the same sound and everything, and I asked the diviner, just a few seconds ago, like, is that really what's going on? And that it was going to go on, the motorcycle continued, like stopped and then continued to drive. So you might be in a cycle where you had an awakening that led you to your destined path, but your destined path then was fucked up because the entity attached to the person in the past ended up making them choose the wrong direction. And we'll use those words because those words are fitting, especially for how we're going to be stepping into things, and how we have been stepping into things. It's like a redo of that, because a lot of people know that that should not have happened. Like, let's be real. All right, when we first started getting into understanding these love readings and shit, that wasn't supposed to happen, because there was a deep connection. There was a soul connection for a lot of people out there. And I know because I was one of them who literally had a soul connection. I was with that person. My soul, my heart was beating at the same BPM as them. My soul was connected to them. They were literally the destined path. The divine was showing that. Free will is the only issue in these circumstances. Do not blame the person. It is the free will. They have the free will to decide just as you. Let them leave with that grace. Let the bonds break with that grace. New leaf, new page. We're growing. Okay? We all know this. And there's people that have already done that as well. But it's super important to reinstate that shit. Because when you reinstate it, that energy you feel is the energy that you have as a fucking shield against the negative shit that they try to send towards you, if any at all. Let's keep it real. This is that warfare. All right? So, for those that did not get to do that, there was a lesson that was in there for you. Were you over loving, under loving? Were you doing toxic traits of you? Were you using this person in any way, shape, or form, even if you weren't consciously aware of it at the time or not? Either way, we learned, we grow through these lessons. And even though not all of them might have been learned, you learned the most important part of that lesson, which is your own value, your self-worth, your patience, how much you can actually fucking withstand before you either snap or want to lose everything. You learned your boundaries. You learned what it felt like to have your boundaries completely fucking snapped in half and disrespected to get that self-respect that you needed. Tenfold and forever. And thank you for the donation. I mean, it means the world to me. That's what happened. You learned that lesson. Repeat that damn cycle. Someone new might come in. Now, for those that have been getting these readings of, oh, the same person might come in, or it might be someone new, this is that era. Choose wisely. I'm talking really loud. I forgot I was in a hotel for a minute. I fucking love Spirit, man. They just take over and let you do whatever. Nothing happens. I fucking bless you all so much. Thank you. And thank you all for being here too. Um, but even if you don't want that person back, bitch, you tell them no. That's your free will because that's your path, that's your decision, that's your split. Where do you want to go with your free will? Do you want to try again? Do you wish to give it a chance again, or you want to go see something new? Because let me guarantee you this one thing: whatever you're going to see that's new is going to be better. It will always be better because the divine always is going to bring something to you that's better. But that thing that comes with something better is always going to come with its counterpart, its duality, the side that don't really need to be there. The side that you have worked so hard to not eliminate, but to be in harmony with. It will also come back to see just how much harmony you have with it almost. You know what I mean? Like the divine's like, let's see how much you do love this person. Can you look at this person and talk to them if they ever did come up to you? Can you even live with the idea that they might come back to you without you having fear? These are all tests. These are all tests. When you hear a reading and it's like someone might come back to you and you're like, no, they're not going to come back to me. I don't want them to. That's a test. Do you really forgive them? Or are you just pushing them down far enough and ignoring them until their name comes up? You know, bubble pop, oops. But we gotta know this. This is the test that the divine gives you. And not many people know that. And it's one of those things that you have to learn on your own. And I talk to the divine before I do any sort of these like spilling outs. And what I say is what needs to be known. So I know that the personal journey is important, but there are some people that just they learn lessons but they don't understand what they learned. You know what I mean? Because I've gone through lessons that I've learned, and I've sat there and been like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what was I even supposed to learn from that? And it goes, oh, it's this really tiny fucking thing from 7 years ago that I completely forgot about because I pushed it down so hard. Damn. And then all that random space fills up because it's been 7 years of pressuring it down. um it's so beautiful though, because it's the expansion of the human, the expansion of the soul, its growth, its maturity. Maturity is not a physical thing, it is a soul thing. Your soul will mature, it doesn't age, it matures. Maturity is knowledge and logic and just it's something I can't even be talked about. The soul has its own path because it's completely connected to the divine. It doesn't need to be defined by words or by anything. It just is. It just knows it is. It's there. Where is it? Fucking everywhere. Soul's everywhere. You bring life wherever you go. Whenever you define something, you bring life to it. Whenever you don't identify something, it still has life. You're just not acknowledging it. Or you're using it and the usage of it isn't being acknowledged. Why do you think things have battery lives or things need to be charged in? Because they need fucking life. What is this realm charged off of? Electricity. We know this. Electrons, neurons fucking keep us together. The energy is just electromagnetic pulses and all sorts of shit. We know this. So what makes me so different than the thing I have plugged in? Nothing. You're the exact same thing. You're being used for a purpose by something because that's what you're good at. That's a bubble puss. That might have been too much of a bubble puss because that's something I learned early on my journey, and I don't know why I'm like, oh, we're talking deep shit. We're talking deep mystic shit. Like some people have to do ayahuasca and stuff to have like this type of understanding, but really, you're the same as that microwave. You buying someone food, you're working for DoorDash, you're a microwave. I'm not trying to. I'm really not trying to call you a microwave, but I kind of am, in the sense that you deliver hot food. If you are a cook, you are basically a microwave or a stove. You know what I mean? Like, there's no difference. This is that 4D to 5D consciousness. This is that evolution of being like, you know what? It really is no difference. You know, you sleep on your bed, on your couch. You do that for comfort. People come to you for comfort. There's no difference. Understand how connected you are really with this realm. And then things will start flying like none other. Because everyone thinks, oh, nothing good I can't have a perfect life. Bitch, if a refrigerator can last 30 years doing nothing but keeping food cold when it needs to be cold, it's done its job. If you can live your life and do what makes you happy, you've done your job. Because your destiny, your life path, your ticket to heaven, whatever you want to fucking call it, is based off of what you love to do. What you actually love to do, not what's pressed on you by a society that you love. You like helping people? Do something that's going to help people. What how do you like spreading your help? By knowledge, music, by food, by dancing, arts? Pick your place. There's a million, an infinite, I should really say, amount of possibilities for where you could do, an infinite amount of possibilities for talent. Doesn't matter how you view your art. There are people that you view as art as like not being art, and there's people that you view art as being masterpieces, and you can fit right in with that scene too. Don't worry about the people, it's the energy. You bring that soul, that loving energy, that kind, that care, that compassion, people will follow. Because in a miserable world, misery loves attention and loves company. And not all the time does misery want other miserable people. Sometimes misery really wants someone to help them. And that is a lesson that I think is going to be learned next. I think that's one of the next lessons is learning the difference between those who are in misery and wish to stay there, or and those that wish to be in misery but still wish to evolve. Some people might already learn that lesson. Some people need to do some kinks and working out to it. Other people, that is just blatantly what you might have to be working on, is really trusting yourself and your intuition more of seeing who people are. It's a third eye activation. The crown's getting activated, the heart's getting activated. So that's definitely like getting downloads and trusting yourself. But now it's like your third eye needs to be activated more so you can perceive the reality of things. If people have attachments on them, why do they have these attachments? Is there anything that I can do to help this person? And do I feel actually called to help this person? Or am I supposed to? Why did they come across my path? Did they come across my path to test me? Or did they come across my path for me to heal them? Because there's two reasons, and both are the same. Even if, because here's the funny part, and this is the funny part about healing that not many people talk about, because everything's a double-edged sword in the game of duality, right? But whenever you help someone and they look at you and they say, this doesn't help me, you can't help anyone, you helped them. They didn't want to believe that you could help them in the first place. They just wanted to see if you would try, or what you would say about them. You didn't help. You helped them. You gave them evidence for their own reasoning, for their own way of belief. You helped them out. You gave them their reason. That's your test of being able to take that on the chin and be like, I'm glad I could help you. I'm glad I could help you realize that I'm not what you want, and that you want something else instead. That's okay. That's fine. The fuck? Why would I get mad at someone else that wanting something else? Like, why? Why would That means I wouldn't be able to choose if anything if I wanted. That's how I live, at least. And it's not saying that everyone. I mean, we're not going to go into saying what people should do and shouldn't do, but really putting yourself in the shoes of other people, being like, if they can't choose another option, then why can't I? What's up with the question though? I got you for the question, but really, it's just I don't know. The higher, it's like it's hard to get to these higher consciousness though, because it's like it's an inner battle. You have to literally rip yourself apart, like you have to like be, because see, you're told all these things all the time. And let me be real with you, even let me be real with you, not even on on a me level, but on a you level as well, for not even like you, for all of you, but for some of you, when you were in those low states of misery, you wanted people around not to like info dump and to trauma dump on them, but to really have a safe place to like feel like you wanted new energy. So not all misery wants more misery. Some misery wants a fucking escape. Some of those crabs really want out of that barrel. Some of those crabs really fucking want out of those barrels, because you used to be in a crab in that barrel and you got out. They help them. If they accept the help, cool. If they try to drag you in, dip. Fuck it. Nah, you try to trick me? Bah. You messed up. God gave you me, and you wanted to test me? Bah. Bye. I knew where I was going. Do you know where you're going? You know what I mean? But yeah, Joseph, with your question, you can go ahead and send it whenever. I'm ready to answer for it. But no rush. I just want to make sure that you heard that, because sometimes I'll talk too fast. I know how it is over here. But yeah, just really like, I don't know, man. It's the understanding of duality that's hard. And it's only hard because once you come to terms with it, you kind of have to be in harmony with it. You kind of have to just accept it, because no matter what, it's going to be that way. No matter how much love you have um for someone, someone could just straight up fucking hate your guts for it. There's always going to be an opposite. There's always going to be someone opposite of you. Just accept that. I'm glad I don't have to feel that shit, but I'm sorry that they do. But instead of sending them more shit their way, I'm still sending them some sort of love, you know? Whether I'm doing it to their face or like away. It's the thing. We really got to start helping people. It's this fear of being alone that has us scared of everyone, because then we're like, oh, you're just gonna abandon me or use me. It's like, no. We got healing to do. Some people really need to relax, you know? You never know everyone's story. You don't look what you go through. Something. Because here, I don't look what I've gone through. You wouldn't believe half the shit that I've gone through if I started spitting shit out. I don't look like it. A lot of you all don't look like what you've gone through. Blessings to God, Mother, Father, completely. Yeshua, Jesus, whoever, for that truly. Because, fuck, that shit's rough, all right? So allow that to be your shining grace. People are gonna hate you for that. People are gonna hate you for it, bro. I'm gonna be real. Oh, I've talked about a little bit of it, Neptune. I have a video of talking a little bit about my past way back. I think it was my 5,000 or 10,000. I think it was either my 5 or no, it was my 5,000 subscriber special, I think, or my 1,000. It was one of the two. But I did that as like a mile mark for like my story, just to like open up. I didn't go into great detail, mainly because I was still kind of scared then. I might do a revamping on there because there's a lot of stuff, and I was just in a really weird place when I gave the story as well. Just a lot of chaotic energy. I wasn't really in the best mindset of doing it, but it was something that really allowed me to help myself and heal. Um, but allow yourself to really just get grace for like how far you've made it, man. Like really, like because we're not, because like, damn, really give yourself grace, bro. No, seriously, that's why I want to retell it, because it's like it's something that's just the story that I've gone through is just not like most others. And you know, that's how it is for like a lot of people who are like, you know, prophets or chosen for headlining for missions and shit. We just have crazy ass fucking lives that we like. I don't know. I don't understand. I really like, it's something that really like the divine has like complete control over, and it's really just down to, I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it. It's something that's out of my reach of knowledge. I can't even describe it. There's not even words. It's really just a feeling of unconditional acceptance that you just have to have. And you have to kind of just get used to it. And unfortunately, the way I did it, and the way that most people kind of have to do it, is through relentless abuse and trying to talk yourself down through everything. You know what I mean? It's like, it's rough, but it's so beautiful, again, just to know people's story, because I always like, that's why I like knowing people, like, because their stories, the fact is just like, I mean, there's people that I know that are going through shit worse than me, and I'm like, how the fuck are you even like up? And it's just like, this is how you have to look at people. It's just like, allow them to know who they really are. You see them from their whole journey, but all the person sees themselves as is, I need to do better. I need to work on this. I need to work on that. So that's our job. Again, like, though, when the workers are working, don't forget to support the workers, you know? And even if you're working like on your own and you're just doing the shadow work, you know, not watching it like completely off grid and just doing shadow work and whatever, we're still giving you love. No, you don't have to. If you feel called to give your story, do so. As a statement of a testimony of the divine and of the divine love and of the safety that the divine gives you. And a way to enlighten others of who the divine really is, of what this God that they either believe or don't believe in really is. And not the personified version that we wish to kind of stand by with like daily basis. Like really understanding the spirit, the energy of God and what God is, and just, I don't know, it really like it enlightens people in a different way. Really, it's testimonials that really get, I don't know, it's a whole thing. So if you feel called to give your story out, just do it. Like really, don't be afraid to. Even if people are gonna make fun of it or whatever, listen. Especially if people are gonna make fun of it, take it on the fucking chin. because those same people making fun of it are probably the same people that put you, but that, not the exact same people, but they resonate with the same energy of the people that put you through that shit, and they wouldn't last a damn millisecond in the shit that you were in. They would be either out of this realm or doing some crazy shit, and here you are somehow on your 2 feet. That's better than a lot of people, man. It doesn't even matter how many negative thoughts you have a day. The fact that you're on your fucking 2 feet right now, congratulations. You're still doing something. You're still breathing. You know? Like, it's it's a journey, and you really just have to grace yourself, especially at these ports where you're going through upgrades and activations. This it's time to just really have grace on yourself and to relax and show the divine how much trust you have in them. And it's almost in the sense of like, you're showing them through like remembrance. It's like, hey, I remember when you all did this for me, and this happened, so I know that something even better is gonna happen. How long I've been doing this? Tarot? Maybe like a year, almost a year. But my spiritual journey, I've been on this shit since I was 7, dude. My third, I've been aware of shit since I was 7, man. I've been doing this shadow work. I was doing deeper shadow work than my therapist were giving me at my age, and it fucked me up. I should not have been trying to do shadow work at fucking 15. Ugh. It was listen, you can see why I'm kind of hard on myself with certain things, because I've really just grown up in this energy of like, oh fuck, I see where I'm at. But you know, but regardless, it's a learning journey. But it's not about how long anyone's been in it. It's really about how receptive you are, because it's all about fear. If Because it's so important. It's just so important to like, I don't know, just being aware is, I don't know. I can talk about it forever, but the divine's starting to like fly away a little bit. I've gone off track. They've said what they needed to say. I'm kind of just, I don't know. They're just floating around the energy that's left over here. We got to be honest, because like, it's just such a good thing. Yeah, fear is not real. Listen, fear is not real. Not boundaries, not boundaries. Blockages aren't real. Blockages are thought forms that come up that prevent you to. So let's say, now this even goes in terms with magic, because at the end of the day, the willpower of your magic, and the willpower of your target depends on how effective it's going to be, and that's a whole other thing. We'll go into that at a later date. But yeah, danger is real. Danger is something that will pop up, but fear is not. Danger is there as a warning, and a warning isn't neither good or bad. A danger is to describe a warning of imminent emergency, I would say. Um, but yeah, fear is not. Fear is an energy that we feel to allow us to be in this fight or flight energy of being able to stand and use the energy as kinetic energy, keeping us inside so we're able to stay stable, or using it as flight, as potential energy. I mean, no, wrong way. As potential energy, holding it in. Excuse me. I don't know why I get that mixed up. And then kinetic energy, putting it out. I don't know why. It's words, man. But then you have the kinetic energy with the flight, and you use that to move. But regardless, it's understanding these things, and we're just planting seeds at this point now. But um, it's no, I mean, Michelle's not wrong there. When it comes down to it, it really is willpower. Let me be honest with you. I I have been under constant attack, I should say, since being here, but that has not once affected much of what I was been doing. What I've been going through is my own thing, because I've had the determination, the willpower to not allow someone to have that energy over me. Because if we all are goddesses and gods, if I can speak, and we are all kings and queens, and you rule your life, if you are suffering at the hand of someone else, then you have been conquered by them, meaning you have allowed them into your energy to overrule you, either by mental games, emotional games, however they are played on you. They are played on a certain field. your planes, your fields, your emotional field, your mental field, your spiritual field. However, it's played on that game field, that playing board, and then that's the game you get to play. You should be the master of that game because it's your field that they are coming into. So they shouldn't have any control over that. But a lack of self control, a lack of acknowledgement of that self control, a lack of understanding will cause your opponent to have more control because in the darker realms it's just about abuse, use, and control, and then in the lighter realms it's love, light, and everything nice with a little bit of sugar on top to finish it off. And it's understanding that even though sugar is good, too much of it can be very dangerous. So the more that you sweeten any negativity that comes towards you, it's just going to get sweetened by it. You can dump a fuck ton of sugar on something, and though it's still going to be that innate object, it's going to be coated in that sugar. Now, what you do with that object is completely up to you. You can either fucking caramelize it and freeze it, freeze the spell. You can send it back. You could dispose of it, do whatever you want. It is not going to change what it's originally put as, but you're covering it with what you want in your energy, making you have more control over it. Your love and lightness will deteriorate the darkness sent to you by delving into it, by shining a light onto it, by seeing its root, the core of the darkness, seeing why it's even there. What fear is this working off of? What natural human fear is this working off of? Oh, money blockages. The world's ran off fucking money. Oh, I need money to do this, do money to do that. I'll block their money and make them feel fear. Well, if someone's going to block your money, what they have to do is block your will. Your not only just your will, they have to block your self-respect, your dignity, your whole dignity, how you view yourself. You're like it's like they have to attack your emotional field. So again, it's your emotional field. Is your emotional field in check? Make sure of that. And it's really it's a game. It's a board game. I'm telling you, like Magic, all this shit, it's a board game that's played on different boards. Why do you think they call game of life a chess? Why do you think the masonry shit has a chess board on it? It's a game. Different fields, different playing levels, different ways of observing it. Life is a game of chess. You can either play 3D chess, which is checkers, or you can play chess, which is 4D, or you can go into 5D and be a fucking world star, world famous professional chess player. You know what I mean? It's that. You have to have this understanding of yourself. The more you understand yourself, the more you're mastering yourself. You can't do one without the other. Everything has like, not say everything has an order of operations, but everything has like a chaos theory tied to it. Each string is attached to a different path, each string longer or shorter, but you have to know which path you really want to go down, and that path is going to lead you to your quickest solutions the fastest, and the answers that you want the quickest. Oh, I really like this person, but I'm afraid to ask them out, and I know that they're talking to other people. Well, ask them out. If you really want to ask them out, just ask them out. Allow yourself to be open and do that. If they say no, that's your answer. No more worrying about it. You're fine. Nothing wrong with you. It's free will. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with them. Just free will. How it is. It's okay. It's like that person coming here and saying I'm zesty. Yeah, I'm zesty. So what? You're not. Sorry. Sorry. Like, damn, like, get used to it. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're going to come into my energy, baby, you get ready. And that's how you got to get people to ready. If they want to fight up with you, they want to come into your energy. Bitch, let them be aware of who you are. Show them all that love and light. Show them how quick you can transmute that shit. Show them who they really messing with. Make them feel weird. They want to come into your energy, make you feel weird. Bitch, make them feel weird. You're coming at me. And it's not even that person. We're talking about general. You know me. I'm not focused on anything. Just genuinely, like, if someone like, oh, you can't be, your coworker calls you fucking weird because like, you're fucking a workaholic, or you're in your cubicle all the time and you don't come out, and they come to your cubicle. Oh, what are you doing? Well, I don't know. What the fuck are you doing? Not working, obviously. So leave me alone. Like, damn, let me keep it. What are you doing here, bro? And it's not even to come off as mean, but like, if they're gonna joke with you, joke with them back. It's okay. It's okay. It's the game they want to play. And it's not giving them the energy. It's just saying like, yeah, I see you. It's okay. It's fine. But I'm enjoying this moment of humor with you. And if you don't like my humor, then do not joke with me, because I will always tell a joke back. Simple as that. We keep the energy straight tenfold. And that's how, honestly, that's the advice I got to give to people. If someone's going to come up to you and joke at you or mock you, Why they mock? Why are you mocking me? Is it because you don't have the thing that I got? Yeah, the authenticity is like, is my authenticity like triggering you? Can you not handle this? Then I'm not the one for you. You can go away. And that goes for anyone, really. That goes for anyone in my life. That's why I kind of stay by myself, because it's not that I'm worried about other people, but it's just I know when someone's actually interested in being in someone's field or not. I know when someone genuinely wants my help and when someone's just there for amusement. And that's something that you have to understand, because it's not something that you don't actualize or know already, but it's something that you put a little bit of self-doubt on. And that self-doubt is getting removed. That self-doubt is getting washed away. We're entering Libra. Things are coming back into balance. The equinox has been fucking crazy. No, yeah, no, it's the equinox, dude. I'm telling you, because listen, I don't know if you've seen the short. Some people say the equinox is on the 22nd. Some people say it's on the 23rd. It doesn't matter. Some people are experiencing. Some people have been experiencing the equinox for fucking a week before it happened. You know what I mean? Um, because we're about to because we're entering the autumn equinox, and then after that we have winter solstice, with the silver portals opening, and that's gonna be fun. Um, but yeah. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, that's probably an update as well. The silver and gold portals, um, for the ones that know about them, are opening up this year. For the ones that don't know, the the asteroid known as Anubis is, funnily enough, flying by Earth for a visit next year. Get ready. Shit's happening. Pay attention. I look at this shit advanced. I'm advanced for this shit. Like, I gotta know what's going on beforehand. And the Anubis asteroid's coming by. It's gonna be, and the funniest thing is, it's gonna be the closest it's ever been to Earth this year. So what does that say? A resurrection of what now? With Anubis? I don't know what. I don't know if you know your Egyptian mythology. Then you know what the fuck I'm getting onto right now. You know exactly what I'm trying to say, and I'm not gonna say it just yet. I'm not gonna say it just yet. But the ones that know, and those context clues definitely put that together for you. Um, but yeah, that's happening soon. So get ready. Just get in the flow. Allow yourself to be one of the first few to ride this roller coaster with your hands up and happy, so that when it ends, the rest of the people aren't as scared to get on the ride, because it's a fucking journey. It's a ride. It's hard, and the better of an outlook you can have during it, the better the outlook you're going to have out of it. And when you're out of that experience, it's going to be so much easier to tell other people, it's okay, come on. Like, you have to heal from these. You don't have to heal from them, but if you do heal from them, this is where you're going to be. And there's proof of it. You can see all these people that have done the work. It's just this fear of like, yeah, but what if it doesn't work for me? What's the difference between you and them? That's what you got to figure out. But regardless, if you've already worked through that fear, now it's just putting in the work that fear is stopped. And I wish you the best of luck on that, whether that is physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, however. But that, I feel like this is where we're gonna end it. I've planted a lot of seeds. We talked about it a lot. We're gonna be talking more, doing a lot more of these just talkings, less tarot, more just educating and just downloads and spiritual stuff. Just to change up, for a minute. But regardless, thank you all for being here. If you're wanting high quality bracelets, you can hit up Otter Spirit, and use code SUBLUNAR20 for 20% off. If you want a reading or any other service that I offer, you can also check the description for my email, or for the order form that I have, for any of the services, and fill out the form or email me for that. Regardless, thank you all so much for being here. For all the likes, comments, shares, and subscribes, the donations, whether they are energetic or financial, I appreciate both of them fully, wholly, and equally. But genuinely, thank you all so much for being here. Congratulations on your first steps to the 4D. Welcome to the higher consciousness again, because we kind of have to be reintroduced to it again as we go across these borders, because we have to know where we're going and then be familiar when we get there. Because we don't really feel a difference unless we are aware of it. Sometimes we can feel a difference, but most of the time we don't. But regardless, thank you all so much for being here. I love all of you so much, to the moon and back, tenfold and forever. Peace be with you. Thank you to all the angels, the to gods, all the gods, Mother, Father, Goddesses, Goddess, Kings and Queens, goodnesses, gracious, all the entities and spirits here that don't want me to talk no more because they want me to fucking leave and do other things. But regardless, I love you all so much. I will see you all later. Take care, and just have so much grace with yourself. You're doing so much better than you can ever realize, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So take care. I love you so much, and I will see you later.